girlfriend's location was turned off, so I went to find her. I was scraping leftover lasagna into the trash when I realized I hadn't heard from Chloe in 4 hours. It was a Wednesday, and she usually texted me a dozen times a day about her coworkers or the traffic. I checked her location on the family app we set up when we moved in together. It said location paused. My stomach tightened. Chloe wasn't the type to unplug. She lived on her phone. I tried calling, but it went straight to voicemail. I checked our shared bank account, hoping to see a charge for gas or groceries that would explain where she was. Instead, I saw a Venmo transfer from 2 hours ago. $300 to a Julian Vanderbrook. I searched the name. He was a guy in town, some local who listed his occupation on Facebook as the Love Guru. I found his address in 10 minutes. It was an apartment complex 3 miles away, in a part of town where the streetlights were mostly burnt out. I didn't want to drive over there. I wanted to trust her, but the location masking and the money were too much. I grabbed my jacket. The drive was a blur of worst-case scenarios. I pictured her in bed with this guy. I pictured her doing drugs. I pictured her laughing at me. When I got to the complex, I found her car parked crookedly in a visitor spot. I walked up to apartment 4B and stood there for a full minute, listening. I couldn't hear voices, just a low, droning hum, like a fan or white noise machine. I pounded on the door. I didn't wait for an answer. I turned the knob, and it was unlocked. I shoved the door open, ready to swing at whoever Julian was. The apartment was dimly lit, smelling heavily of sage and stale cigarettes. Not an affair. Oh no, this was worse. Chloe was sitting at a small round table across from a skinny, pale guy with greasy hair. They were holding hands. Her eyes were closed, and tears were streaming down her face, ruining her makeup. A tape recorder was running in the center of the table. She didn't open her eyes when I burst in. She just squeezed the guy's hands tighter. "Is he still here?" she whispered to the man. "Does he know I only settled for Mark because I was scared to be alone?" The guy, Julian, looked up at me with bored, heavy eyes. He didn't let go of her hands. He just nodded at her, ignoring my presence completely, and said, "David says he knows. He says he forgives you for pretending to love him." I stood frozen in the doorway, realizing she wasn't cheating on me with another man. She was paying $300 an hour to cheat on me with the ghost of her high school sweetheart.